Hi, my name is John McCague. I'm a licensed real estate representative with the Royal Lepage RCR at Alliston. I'm out on the road today and I thought I'd take an opportunity to do a short video on real estate related topics. So the topic I'm going to discuss in this video is about additional charges that people will incur when doing a real estate transaction. One of the charges that they'll deal with is development charges. So development charges, they're broken down into local or township, then there's the county, and then there's the schools. So the schools, they have a set amount. They set them at the beginning of every year. The county has a set amount and they're set at the beginning of every year. And then there's the local or the township, and depending on which township you're in, they can vary widely. Why do they vary widely? Services that they charge, but it could also be a township has a lot of infrastructure to it. They will charge you for those additional services. If you want to give me a call at my office, if you want to let me know which township that you are interested in knowing the development charges for, I can prepare something for you, let you know what the charges are. I do have for 2018, I'm still waiting for the 2019 development charges, so I haven't quite got those yet, but I should be getting those any day, and I'll be doing the calculations on those. The next is lawyer. So again, lawyers vary widely as far as what their charges are. I always say to people before they do the real estate transaction, they should choose a realtor. So I always say before somebody is about to do a real estate transaction, what they should do is they should get estimates from the various lawyers in the area. I always suggest that they deal with lawyers who are in the area and work on specific types of real estate. I always caution people not to always go for the lowest price. The lowest price isn't always the best choice. I always like to find out what the reputation of that lawyer is, or whomever we're dealing with, but in this case it would be a lawyer. I like to know what their reputation is like, how they are to deal with, and how busy they are, because some of these lawyers get incredibly busy at various times of the year, and they all seem to get the work done, but they tend to focus on the most important, obviously, first. Most important being time sensitive, or something that maybe requires an awful lot more work. So you want to make sure that you hire somebody, whether it's real estate or a lawyer or whomever, that's going to do the best job for you. Not necessarily the best price, but do the best job. You want to make sure that the price is fair though. And if you have any questions about lawyers, feel free to give me a call. Next is moving. Again, that can vary widely. Don't necessarily go with the lowest price. I've heard some horror stories about hiring moving companies off of the internet and finding out afterwards that the price that was quoted isn't the price that they actually have been charged. So you always want to get something in writing. You want to get a contract. You want to know times, when they're actually going to be there, when they're actually planning on having the job completed by. You don't want any surprises the day of. HST, that's a bit of a gray area. We find in real estate, we contact accountants and we also contact the CRA directly, and sometimes we get a bit of a gray response to it. So what I suggest is that the way I look at HST when you're purchasing a property is the property an income generating property. It could be a commercial property. If it's a commercial property, chances are HST is going to be on the full amount. If it's a piece of land, if the land has been used by the property owner for their own purpose and they were making an income off of it, there is going to be some HST applicable. If it's something that there is potential of income off the property, it hasn't generated any income, then chances are HST isn't going to be applicable at that time. It would be if you generated an income and then you turned around and sold it afterwards. There would be HST involved in that. So I always, again, as it comes to HST, I always say, is the property generating an income? Even in residential, if they're making an income off of a rental unit on the property, there will be HST applicable to a portion of that. The best person to talk to about that is your accountant. Even Revenue Canada, depending on who you talk to there, you may get different answers. I always suggest to get it in writing if you can. You aren't necessarily going to be able to get it in writing, but if you can, that's fantastic. But when it comes to actually preparing an offer of purchase and sale, I always suggest to my clients when I'm writing up the offer, when in doubt, put HST in addition to. That way you don't get burned. You've already planned for the HST. If you end up not having to pay the HST, then it's a bonus. But you just want to make sure that you cover the HST issue. You want to make sure that you've got money set aside. You don't want a surprise afterwards. And the last one is capital gains. So capital gains, if you are selling a property, the capital gains is the amount between what you purchased the property for and what you've sold it for, the difference. How much do you actually have to pay on capital gains? It depends what tax bracket is. Again, it's best to talk to your accountant about that. In some cases it's 50%, in some cases it's 33%, and in some cases it's nothing. Again, it's important to factor that into your purchase or your sale. You want to make sure that you cover that amount just in case. Unless you know for sure, you want to make sure that you've got that money set aside. So feel free to give me a call if you have a specific case you want to talk about. I'd be happy to sit down and talk to you about it. I'll give you the answers that I have. If I don't have the answers, I will certainly find out for you, or I can point you in the right direction of who to speak to about that. I work with a lot of different professionals, both in accounting and in law. I hope I've answered a few of your questions. Feel free to give me a call. My name is John McCague. I'm a licensed real estate representative with Lepage RCR in Alliston. My address is 7 Victoria Street West in Alliston. My local phone number, 705-435-3000. My Toronto line, 1-866-772-5368. My cell phone is 705-791-2221. My email address is johnmccague@royallepage.ca. My website is www.johnmccaguesells.ca. And my Facebook business page is at John McCague Realtor. So thanks very much for your time. I hope you found this useful, and I hope to hear from you soon. If you are thinking about buying or selling, please feel free to give me a call. And one of the greatest compliments you can give me is a referral. I would be happy to talk to anyone that you know of that's thinking about buying or selling. No obligation. You can have them give me a call at those numbers. I'd be happy to discuss it with them. So thanks very much for your time, and I hope to hear from you soon. Bye for now.